to be, I'm going to be 50 in 2 weeks, okay? So you know what, I got past 49, and so I'm just 50. I'm just kind of giving up, you know? And it drives me back and crazy. She's like, it's still 2 weeks of your birthday. So, I'm right at the cusp of 50. And I'm still learning. And I'm still learning basic facts. And I'm embarrassed. So, how many of you guys brush your teeth? It's weird that not all of you guys are raising your hands. Come on, work with me. We all brush our teeth, and I don't know about you, but most of the time, I would say 99.9% of the time, I'm putting my own toothpaste on my toothbrush. But there are times that my wife is such a servant, and she's so good, I'll say, Karen, will you put toothpaste on my toothbrush? And she'll just go, put a little tiny bit on my toothbrush, and it makes me mad. Because, I don't know about you, but the way I was raised, when I watched commercials, could you draw what they make the toothpaste look like on the brush? They make this big swirly, they go like that. That's got a cute little point to the end of it. That's hard to do. And so I don't even think it's real, it's, artificial, but that's what they do. And I even went to my medicine cabinet and got my toothpaste out, and it doesn't have a toothbrush on it, but it has all these colors and dazzling little graphics. But then down below is that same shape. And so my whole life, I have grown to go all the way across my toothbrush and brush my teeth. And so I'm driving to work probably within the last 3-4 weeks, and I heard them talking about waste. And they're talking about all kinds of different waste and how humans waste all kinds of things. Most restaurants include in their figures that you waste about 30% of the food. And that's just the way it is. But then, so I'm listening to all this, and they talk about toothpaste. And they said that with toothpaste, you need about a pea-size amount of toothpaste. Revelation. I never knew that. All the years and all the miles of toothpaste that I wasted making that little, and here I just needed what Karen gave me, a little, that's what I needed. But, so then it did something else. It made me wonder, why did I believe that? Why did I think that I needed this great big dollop of toothpaste if I only needed a tiny little bit? So, can anybody tell me why? Why did I think that? Why? It's how I was raised. Now my parents, my mom, when I was in 3rd grade, I remember like it was yesterday, my mom came into school. And when you're at school, and you see all your school friends, you see the teachers, it's the norm, and your mom walks in, that's something special. You notice that. And my mom came to talk to the kids at the school. She worked for Dr. Armin and Garrett, and one of the things she did was teach how to brush your teeth. And so she had these great big teeth, and she had a great big toothbrush, and she never talked about how much toothpaste to put on, but neither here nor there. She held these teeth and she would go, and you brush, 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 and you brush. So you're supposed to brush down from the top and up from the bottom. And the thing I didn't know is that rule changes all the time. And I, just being me, just got in there and almost knocked my teeth out. But why did I believe what I believed? Because my mom and dad never showed me how much to put on the toothbrush. I was taught because of commercials. And there are so many things that I believe that I have just in me because that's what I've been bombarded with my whole life. Now, years ago, and so everybody in here that's over the age of, I'll say 30, if I said, what's the first thing you do when you get in your car? Okay? Jesse, I'm going to pick on you. When you get in your truck, what's the first thing you do? All right, now, let me pause right there. Let me go. Megan, what's the first thing you do when you get in your car? Seatbelt. All right? Do you know why that? Because if you ask young kids, and the weird thing was, this friend of ours who is, she's 20, but she gets in her car and puts her seatbelt on, and you have to put your seatbelt on before she'll even start it, which I think is insane. Turn the air conditioner on first. But I was messing with her and I said, why how do you do that? And she said, you just do. It's just safe. Now, how many of us drove around most of our life and you didn't use seatbelt at all? Right. I remember when we were kids, so my parents had a big station wagon, that the back door of it would lay down. And we had to go out and get a bunch of logs out of town. So we're driving back in town, and Dad put the logs up in the car over the axle, and we were in the back. So we're laying on the back door and watching the road. We'd have the cops call us in a heartbeat if that happened today. We'd be called, parents would have been bad parents, and all these things would have happened. But now things are different. We learn, we grow. And that, as much as that scale moves of I want to be safer, I want to do things right, now we have the little pumpy things where we have them at the doors. Sanitizer. Never grew up with that. My mom was a very clean person. My dad, not so much. And so it was debatable in my household how clean you wanted to be. But now we take a lot of things very different than what we used to. Now that we're in this new generation of everybody has their phone on, you ever go somewhere and not have your phone and feel that panic? We didn't used to feel that. I took a trip with two of my buddies back in the day. We just decided we're going to go to Florida and visit a friend. And so I told my parents, I'm going to head to Florida. They're like, all right, have a good time. We are driving, we're having car problems. We are in deep Georgia, middle of the night. And so what do? You don't have a cell phone, or a pay phone. You don't have change. I mean, there's all these different things that now we would freak out if we were in that same situation. But how much am I influenced by the things that are around me, by the things that I see, by the things that I'm told on TV? TV is constantly telling us what we have to have. And sometimes the way they do it is, if I say this word, I'll say it in other words. How many of you guys know what subliminal is? Anybody? What is it? Give me one.
Okay, so, like in songs,
Yes?
there can be lyrics in the song that have, when you hear it, there's another thing what they're meaning.
Okay. Then by show of hands, anyone older, how many of you know what subliminal means? Okay. Because back in if you go back into the 40s, the government was testing subliminal messages, and they were putting things. If you go back and listen to Led Zeppelin, there's backward masking, okay, and they in one of the songs, "Stairway to Heaven," which I listen to over and over and over. But if you take it backwards, and this is insane, I don't understand why, but it's there. If you take "Stairway to Heaven" and play it backwards, in one part you hear him say, "My sweet Satan." You really, really do hear it. Now the weird thing is this. It used to be, we hid everything. When I was young and watched Carol Burnett, I recently have had a Carol Burnett phase and went back and started watching Carol Burnett. And I loved it. Now, there was one part of Carol Burnett when I was young that my parents didn't want me to watch. And I never understood. Now that I'm older, I watch it. And in Carol Burnett, it's like this little soap opera. And it is so laden with sexual innuendos. Nothing is said right out. But now that I'm older and I understand things, as they're saying, I'm like, okay. It's risque, at best. But our world doesn't do that much anymore. Our world doesn't hide its sin anymore. Our world flaunts its sin. There's a song that I don't understand why it's a Christmas song, but it is. These are my favorite things. And it's just, I hear it at Christmas time, and it's a cute little song. I like it was Julie Andrews that sang it. I like her version of it. But to Ariana Grande, has taken that song and twisted it and made it horrible. Horrible. And her video is so sexual. And you know what? Most kids under the age of 12 have watched it. And there are so many things that we should say, you know what, that's wrong. I need to get away from that. Do you realize the influence that you have on people? We're all influenced by TV. We're all influenced by music. We're all influenced by, I listen to 610 WTVN on my way to work in the mornings. Those things that I hear, they have an effect on me. Sometimes I have to not listen to the news because it affects me negatively. And I become negative. So sometimes I need to separate myself from that. But do I realize the influence that my words and my actions have on those around me? Now, as a youth pastor, I have to hold myself to a higher standard. And inside my youth group are my daughters. Okay? And so I have to be youth pastor when I'm here and when I'm at home. I have to back up what I say when I'm here and when I'm home. Because if I'm a great youth pastor and Tristan and I, we're tight. And Tristan and I, we just think, I think he has a moon, he thinks I have a moon, and we're doing great. But I lose my kids, what have I done? What was my real ministry? There's a lot of things that I wrestle with in Scripture. And a long time ago, I got into the book of Ephesians. And now I'm going to change things up on you a little bit. But in the book of Ephesians, chapter 5, verse 1. This is a verse that I have, Ephesians chapter 5, verse 1. This is a verse that is short and sweet, and I've stuck on it for weeks at a time. Because it's so important. In Ephesians chapter 5, verse 1. Therefore be imitators of God as dearly loved children. Be imitators of God. Who am I imitating, really? Where I work, there's a guy that I now work with. He used to be on the Iron Pony commercials. And his name is Hillbilly. He's changing it to Hillbilly. Everybody calls him Hillbilly. When you call his phone, what's Hillbilly? Hillbilly. And so in the commercials, he was Hillbilly. And he'd always say, get to the pony. That was his big thing. I've never been to Iron Pony before, but that's what he was all about. One day I was headed to a football game, and I hated the shirt I was wearing. It was ill-fitting. I looked dumb. And so I thought, you know what? I'm going to drive right by Iron Pony. So I went in and bought myself a t-shirt. And when I went into work, the next day that I went to work, Hillbilly's like, why'd you buy that shirt? Well, dude, you've been shoving down my throat. Get to the pony. Get to the pony. If you go on YouTube, look up, you'll see my friend Hillbilly. But seriously, why do I do what I do? Who am I imitating? Who am I trying to be? The weird thing is that being a Christian should be easy. It should be easy. I don't know about you. I'm not good at following rules. Now, like I was talking about the toothpaste, there probably, if I looked on the toothpaste bottle, tube, that I would see instructions. And it might even say, just put a small pea-sized dollop. I don't know if it does or not. I've never read the instructions. I got something last night, this little, I'm going to work nights. And so I got this little eye cover thing. And I saw it at Ollie's one day when I walked in. And I was like, I need to get that. So last night I ran out and got it. And it's got batteries. And it's got these little blue lights inside of it. I don't even understand what it does. It was $4. So I bought it. But when I got home with it, I'm messing with it. And I don't understand what the button's doing. Why is it not working? And Karen says the obvious. Read the instructions. Like, no. So she's reading them and she pulls out the little strip because there's a battery included. She pulls out the little strip. And it works. How amazing is my wife? But then there's different buttons. And of course I'm like, one of them does this, one of them does that. And she's like, read the instructions. Guys, I like instructions, but I'm not good at it. I don't know about you, but there are different types of learners. I cannot read and fully understand something. I like when somebody shows me. The job I've been learning over the last few weeks, they've been showing me how to do what I'm supposed to do. And actually putting my hands on things. And we have this new technique because of what we're working with electricity. And I'm scared of electricity because it kills. And Tony, you work with electricity all the time, right? Yeah. I don't know how you're not jittery and nervous all the time. But we're working with a lot of electricity, and I would like to tell you how many gigawatts and all that. I just know at one thing it says that there's a flash point if something should go wrong. And it's 228 inches, which is like around 18 feet. The room that I'm in messing with this thing is not 18 feet wide. And so if it were to blow, I'm toast. But there are specific instructions to the job that I have. Right here are specific instructions. Therefore, be imitators of God. Be imitators of God. Let me jump back into my notes because I went left to center. So what I was saying earlier was how I live matters. And what I listen to matters. What I watch. What I let in. You know, Tony was saying a lot of things this morning about how we live, how we should live. And there were times when he was talking, I was like, it's right, but it is over the top. And there are times, just like, you know, you talked about your, I want to say, turn the TV off. Where's the turn? All right. Oh, Grandpa, turn the TV off. There's times when I make this mistake. We've watched something on TV, and I'll turn to the girls and say, now you know that that's wrong, right? But then we watch it. That's wrong. I need to lead by example. We need to lead by example. If I say I'm a Christian, I should be an example. If I say I'm a Christ follower, I should be an example. Therefore, be imitators of God as dearly loved children. I'm going to jump over to Ephesians chapter 15 through 17. And then this is important. I think this is so real for these days. Chapter 5, verse 15 through 17. It says, therefore, be careful how you walk, not as unwise, but as wise, making the most of your time, because the days are evil. So then do not be foolish, but understand what the will of the Lord is. I have to ask myself, and guys, I want you to understand that there is never a time that I talk to my teens, there's never a time that I talk to my friends, there's never a time that I come up here that I'm not pointing the finger at me. I have to ask me. I have to ask myself, do I really believe this? How much do I really believe this? Be careful how you walk. You know what? It's easy for me to tell somebody how to do something, but it's more important for me to show them. You know, I used to have a photography business, and I loved doing photography, and one thing that I did a lot of is people would say, hey, I just bought a new camera. Can you show me how to use it? Well, I was always stoked about that. Yeah, let me show you how to use it. And so I'd start to explain to them about focal points. I'd talk to them about how the first thing you need to do is develop your eye for taking photos and know what you're going to take before you snap it. And I talked about how photos should actually tell a story, how pictures should evoke feeling. And then I never wanted to snap a picture just to, because in the digital age we've done that. I take 500 pictures, I delete, 300-400 of them, and then I have good ones. A real photographer knows what they're taking a picture of and gets the results they see. In fact, there's this cool saying in photography that the best photo you ever take, you'll never see. And what that means is that a real photographer sets up what he's going to take a picture of, he's ready, and when that moment comes, he clicks. That shutter closes and he doesn't see the moment that he captures. So I teach people these things. I've shown them. I've shown them my photos. I've shown them, and there are results that come from teaching them. When I read God's Word, when you read God's Word, are there results? When we're told to be careful how we walk, be careful how you live your life. Because of this, if you have a still pond, and you take a big rock and chuck it way out in the center, it hits, and what do you have? You have the ripples that come out. Now, our life is that way. Okay? Jimmy lives over on the other side of town from me, and Jimmy has his life and I have mine. And we get to brush near each other. And when I have the opportunity to come in Jimmy's life and chuck that rock in, the thing that I can't control is I need to be mindful of what I do in other people's lives, because I can't control how far those ripples go out. Years ago, we hit rough waters. Years ago, somebody threw that rock into our life, and it caused these ripples. And they went way out, and they hurt, and they damaged. And it takes a holy God to come in and calm the waters. It takes a holy God to set things right. But I have a responsibility. I have a job there. And right here it's saying, be careful how you walk. Not as unwise, but as wise. Make the most of your time, because the days are evil. Because you know what? We've all heard about the fact that Satan is like a roaring lion, seeking whom he may devour. Satan wants to mess up your life. Satan wants to mess up this church. If you hear somebody saying, "Oh, I heard of Bob Detty," stop that there. Bring him to me and let's have that conversation. What did you hear about Jimmy? Well, you know what? The one thing we know the best is, he without sin cast the first stone. If we laid out all our sins and all our stupidity, wouldn't we all be ashamed? It would be pretty horrible. Now, some of you are way better than me, and you'd be like, "It's not so bad, there you go." You know what? We all need the redemptive power of God. We all need His grace and His forgiveness. We need His healing. I'm going to, back up, good. So, Paul cautions us for a reason, because he wants to say this. What God says to me, because you've heard me say before, when Karen said she was pregnant, I was freaked out. Her mom's here tonight. This shows how horrible a person I am. I told you I'm a horrible person. So when I tell you this, don't judge, because I already told you it's horrible. I was so freaked out about having babies. I did not want to have babies. But we were going to have a baby. And so Maggie popped out, and there she was, and they put her in a little fry warmer thing, and I'm looking at her, and then they gave her to me, and the way she blinked it was bizarre, and I couldn't believe this happening, so I did what every parent does. I went to Nashville for a weekend. And Karen's mom came in and was awesome and helped, and I was a slack jaw moron. I was freaked out. But there's a cool story in the middle of this. I wasn't doing as a husband what I should have done. Connie stepped in. Guys, don't we need that in our life? Don't we need it when we screw up? We need somebody else that loves us and cares about us to say, "You're an idiot. I got this." I remember when Karen needed a break one time, and we didn't call my mom. We called Karen's mom, and we're like, "Can you watch her?" And something was going on. She couldn't watch her. And Karen said, "You're going to have to watch Maggie." And Maggie was flipping out. Just would not stop. And so Karen leaves, and I'm like, "I got this. I can do this. I've been with Dad too for a while." Wow, it was horrible. And I just want to put her in a soundproof box. That sounds bad, but no, there's probably humane ways to do it. But the thing is that while I was in that time, it only lasted for a time and learn and grow it. And last night, Maggie got to see something really cool because we were at this friend's house and they had a baby, and I'm still not really cool about babies. And I'm sitting watching the TV, and they went and set a baby on me. What did you think I did? Yeah, because I don't don't put a breakable thing on me. I can't even be responsible for this fuzzy thing on my mic. I know put a human in my hand. So they put them, and I didn't want to freak out because they're friends and all that. So I'm like, but I fear. It was, I'm sweating just thinking about it now. But the reality is that we're growing. I'm sure by the time I'm 70, I'll be really good at it. But no, when you guys have kids, then I'll be good at it. I'll be a great grandparent. Horrible father. Anyway. Okay, I'm sorry. All right, so I do have to be cautious of how others perceive me. I have to be cautious of what people learn from me. I say a lot. I talk a lot. Which is Jesse. No, but the thing is, we talk a lot. And sometimes I have to look back over what I've said and make sure that it was right. Because people are learning from me. People are living their lives because of what I say and do. And I need to be careful. Because I'm going to stand before God someday. And yes, I'm going to stand before God, and God's going to say, what kind of husband are you to your wife? What kind of parent were you to the children I entrusted you? But you know what? I also have this feeling that God's going to mention each and every one of my teens. You say, what did you do? Did you have time with me? Did you do right? Tony's got a bigger job. He's got more people. But the reality is this. As much as God has a plan for your life and wants specific things from you, Satan has a goal of destroying all of that. I just want to read. I'm going to start back at the first verse and run through the whole thing. But I want you to hear what Ephesians chapter 5, verses 1 through 17 says. Because I think it's so important. And if you took this next week, 2 weeks, and just went verse by verse, each day just one verse. And as you read that one verse, that your prayer was this: God, today, help me to live out what that one verse says. Because sometimes we're looking at chapters, we're looking at books, we're looking at all these big parts, and yet just doing that one thing, that one day, is hard enough. Ephesians chapter 5, verse 1 starts, therefore, be imitators of God as beloved children, and walk in love, just as Christ loved you, and gave himself up for you, an offering and a sacrifice to God as a fragrant aroma. But do not let immorality or any impurity or greed even be named among you as proper among the saints. And there must be no filthiness, no silly talk, no coarse jesting, which is not fitting, but rather giving thanks. For this you know with certainty, that no immoral or impure person or covetous man who is an idolater has an inheritance in the kingdom of Christ and God. Let no one deceive you with empty words, for because of these things the wrath of God comes upon the sons of disobedience. Therefore do not be partakers with them. For you were formerly darkness, but now you are light in the Lord. Walk as children of the light. For the fruit of the light consists in all goodness and righteousness and truth, trying to learn what is pleasing to the Lord, and do not participate in the unfruitful deeds of darkness, but instead even expose them. For it is disgraceful even to speak of the things which are done by them in secret. But all things become visible when they are exposed by the light. For everything that becomes visible is light. For this reason it says, awake, sleeper, and arise from the dead, and Christ will shine on you. Therefore, be careful how you walk, not as unwise, but as wise, making the most of your time, because the days are evil. So then, do not be foolish, but understand what the will of the Lord is. Do I know what the will of the Lord is? Do I know what the will of the Lord is? Am I living the will of the Lord? Am I speaking the will of the Lord? This morning, Tony always talked about not participating in a lot of things that other people are doing. So now I'm doing a new job at work, and it's kind of a tight-knit group, these guys are. And when it's lunchtime, they'll get on the radio, lunch, and we all have to go to the break room. We all sit at one table. And there's sometimes a lot of guys, but we all sit at one table. And it doesn't make any sense because everybody gets out their phone and they're eating lunch and they're, looking at their phone the whole time. I don't care. I'm just eating my lunch. I usually don't have my phone out unless I have this goofy game I play. But one guy, he's like, hey, check this out. Now there's a guy sitting across from me that can't see what's on this phone, but he's a Christian. I know he's a Christian. I don't know much about him, I know he's a Christian. The guy that sits over here, I think he's a Christian. Not sure yet. But this guy wants to show me what's on his phone, and it's porn. Instantly, I'm put in this awkward position that I didn't want to be put in. But I also know that this guy that's sitting right here knows what this guy's showing me. And this is a time for me to stand up for what I believe in. Now, what am I going to do? Is the first thing I'm going to do is say, sir, I'm a Christian. I don't tolerate that kind of nonsense. Because sometimes I think as Christians, we push people away with our Christianity. In fact, an amazing thing, my brother Jay was here this morning. And I think that was awesome. Thank you for asking me. My brother Jay was here this morning. When we were in high school, I remember my brother, I was a Christian, and I was not supposed to be Christian. Jay went the other way because of me. And I remember my brother Jay saying, if you know what heaven is, I want to go to heaven. I need to be mindful of what kind of Christian I am. Because sometimes I'm better than Jesus. Sometimes, to say holier than thou. To say goody two-shoes. Sometimes what I need to do, and truly, the other day was a moment for me. I turned his phone and I was just like, dude, not cool. Not here. Because number one, that lose you your job. Number two, seriously, what are you doing? What are you doing? And the funny thing was is that I'm brand new in the department. Although I know these guys, I'm low man on totem pole. And he walked up to me later, and the guy's like, punching me in the arm, he's like, sorry about that. And walked away. Maybe God's opening the door. Maybe I'm not going to be that holier than thou, but I'm going to hold to a standard. Because sometimes we get around people and we become the lowest common denominator. Not the worst, but I can move off than everybody else. And maybe that's not what God wants from me. The last thing is this. I try to live my life in such a way that other people can't accuse me. Because of this. These guys are growing up. And the things that I do around them, they're fresh soil. My kids are fresh soil. And I don't want to put something in their life. I don't want to screw up. I don't want to screw up. Because so many times the world and youth will look at that mistake and go, see? It doesn't work. Jesus doesn't work. I've heard it again and again. If God was so real, why did those people walk away from it? And when they ask me those questions, I can't answer for them. I can only answer for me. As for me and my house, we're going to serve the Lord. I say that Jesus is my Lord. But does my life say that he's Lord? The reality is sometimes we let the money be our Lord. Sometimes we let other people, other things be our Lord. What's really my Lord? There's stuff in life that we have to do because we have to do it. I got to go to work when I leave here tonight. I don't want to. I want to go back to bed. That's what I have to do. How do girls to be amazing Christians. I want them to have a love for God that's like no other. You know what? And that's not by chance. God is seeking them out. The Holy Spirit is on them. I pray for my daughters, but I have a job. You as a parent, you as a grandparent, you have a job. And that job is you are responsible for what comes out of your mouth. Not a do as I say, not as I do, but each and everything I do. What am I teaching? What am I really showing you that I believe? You're spending the majority of your life. Because I have to do it on mine all the time. Because I say certain things, I want my life to speak louder than my life. Let's pray. Heavenly Father, I thank you so much for who you are. I thank you